evening, everyone. I'd like to thank you all for coming tonight and have a happy Juneteenth. This meeting is called to order. I need a motion to adopt the agenda.
Madam Chair, I motion that we accept tonight's agenda, June 19th, 2023.
I second that. I second that.
Roll call.
Commissioner Jacobs?
Present.
Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsay?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley?
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Next, I need a motion to accept the minutes from May 15th, 2023 regular board meeting and June 8th, 2023 special call meeting.
Madam Chair, I motion that we accept the minutes, or we approve the minutes for the regular call board meeting and the special call board meeting.
I second that.
Commissioner Jacobs?
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsay?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley?
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Next, we'll have public input. I believe we have 3 names on the list.
We have 3 to speak for public input on tonight. We ask that when your name is called, please come to the podium. You will be given 2 minutes to speak, and there will be a timer to notify you that your time has ended. First name on the list is Mr. Rufus Wilson.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here for the Hopkins Park pool closure. We were notified on May 23rd, 2023 of a call meeting by the RCRC staff about the pool concerns to be held at noon on May 25th at Hopkins Park Pool with the RCRC staff. But prior to that, we had text messages from the aquatics director on February the 28th regards to water aerobic classes for the summer 2023, and we talked about that. And then on May 25th, we was informed that the pool will be closed indefinitely by DHEC because of safety concerns. They say the pool is losing 500 to 1,000 gallons of water per day. We've been checking it for the last 20 days since this, and this may have gone down maybe 4 inches. So where this water's going, we don't know, but apparently it keeps coming back in the pool because it's not going anywhere. And then they're talking about, that the water loss is gone, the pool deck is cracking, the basin is shifting. The pool is 40 years old, but Trenton Park pool is older than ours. So we informed concerned citizens about that attended the community will be notified, and a document will be drawn up by RCRC for the distribution with current status and future plans for the pool. And future plans to include building a new pool, but budgetary concerns needs to be addressed, partners and time frame. Nothing received that have been received as of today. A feasibility status of all the county pools that RC maintained was done by the previous administration in 2020 by the independent company, but results have not been shared with the residents. And several requests have been made, but we still have not received that information. Our community is growing rapidly, as you know. Hopkins is a big area now, and lots and lots of people are moving in that area. So those are some of the things that we're looking at. Okay, that's my time. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next person is Ms. Carletta Wilson.
Good evening. My name is Carletta Wilson. I reside at 7,000 Nordstrom Boulevard, Hopkins, South Carolina. And I'm here to speak on behalf of Hopkins Park Pool. The pool was inspected on May 23rd by DHEC and completed. 14 items were cited for non-compliance. 9 items were in compliance by DHEC. Items cited were required to be repaired by either RCRC or Palmetto Pool Management before the pool could not be reopened. Palmetto Pool was paid $53,000 annually for the pool maintenance from April 2020 to March 31st, 2023. The contract was renewed April 1st, 2023 to March 2028 at a rate of $66,400 a year. But according to the contract and DHEC inspection, several items were not cited, were not completed, that was cited prior to 2023 closing of the pool. Contractor's price increased 2023 on the maintaining 3 kind of pools since Hopkins Park Pool was closed this year as well as last year. The last DHEC on-site inspection of the pool was March 22nd, 2023. And prior to that, it was June 24th, 2021. So the pool was not inspected last year at all. They came by to inspect it, but it was closed. Okay. DHEC stated that RCRC employee informed them that the pool was losing 2,500 gallons of water a day. We were told 500 to 1,000. As my husband said, the water pool has been monitored since May 25th, and the water level has not dropped significantly. Was this DHEC inspection report shared with the board? The pool furniture has been removed from the pool deck. The chairs and picnic tables have already been removed. I checked the RCRC Commission's agenda for the last few months, and there was nothing on there addressing the Hopkins Park closure of the pool. Was the board informed? What future plans of Hopkins Park Pool will be notified of all the decisions that were made moving forward? The pool is approximately 40 years old and not properly maintained over the years, but Trailer Park Pool is older but not closed. Our community is growing by leaps and bounds, and we need these activities for our residents in the Lorton community. Remember the mission: enriching lives and communities through diverse recreation opportunities. And I would like for those who concur with me to please stand supporting Hopkins Park Pool. They were not able to sign in by 3, but they're here supporting our concerns. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming.
The next person we have is Mr. Fegan Durant.
Good evening, Board of Commissioners. My passion started with this Richland County Park and Recreation because my daughter wanted to play tennis. Now she's running track. In the last 6 months, I've traveled through all these facilities throughout the state. And I'm somewhat upset because I've been to Florence City this Saturday and Sunday, 3-day event. The facilities are amazing. Track, basketball, golf, softball, all one facility by the county. One facility has multiple uses that Richland County can't have. We're the capital, we don't have it. York County has the same thing. So my challenge to this board is that make sure we get a facility where our kids don't have to go to USC to run track, or we don't have to go downtown to play tennis, or we don't have to go play a pool. Now, the pool just happened to come up. Most of the people live in this community know that there are kids that are drowned in Wateree River. That is unacceptable. When we have the opportunity, my thing is that close the pool, shut it down. 40 years old, it needs to go away. Now, whoever your new construction manager is now, with this new technology we have building material that can reinforce that pool. So when you have shifts and you have stabilizers that can have. Recently, I talked to Dr. Jessica Farmer. Benedict College has a department of engineering that's accredited. University of South Carolina. We have engineers here that are within 10 minutes of this place that can get with this Richland County and build a new indoor pool. Because these kids in the county, besides Trinity, they don't have an indoor pool. The wide downtown is closed. You can't go to other places. Why can't we build the indoor pool by the Richland County Adult Activity Centers? Get the people in, cut the red tape, get the funding from Richland County, the state of South Carolina, the U.S. Government Department of Interior. We're in James Clyburn, the U.S. Clyburn District. Why can't we get it done? And the U.S. Swim Association. Get the people in that know what they're doing. Because if you have maintenance, you upgrade this pool, we wouldn't have this anytime later on. My final point is simply this. We have the opportunity now to make amends for something that was 40 years old. I'm getting old, I'm getting grayer. I want our kids to learn how to swim. Let's upgrade these facilities. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That is all for our public input tonight.
I'd like to thank everybody for the comments and concerns. And we will get back with you. We have your name and address. Next, we'll have our financial report.
Good evening, Chair Lindsay, members of the Commission Board. I'd like to begin tonight by providing you with an update on the General and Enterprise Fund financials for the period July 1, 2022 through May 31st, 2023. Total revenues for the General Fund for the 11-month period were $16.7 million compared to $16.5 million around this time last year. Represents a $174,000 increase in revenues or 1% increase. Program revenue was the largest driver for this increase. Program revenues for the 11-month period were $830,000 compared to $748,000 around this time last year. Represents approximately $82,000 increase in revenues or approximately 11% increase. Parks and rental revenue, recreational programming revenue, and athletic programming revenues were the largest drivers of this increase from this time last year. Total general fund expenditures for this period were $13.4 million compared to $13 million this time last year. Represents approximately 3.1% increase or $397,000. The biggest driver for that increase would be fleet expenses due to fuel, increase in fuel costs, repairs that need to be done to our existing fleet, supply expenses, as well as IT expenditures. And that's largely due to the expenses that we incurred from Kronos licensing and supply increase due to the RecTrack card readers that needed to be purchased to implement that system. For Enterprise Fund, revenues for the current period were approximately $1.017 million compared to $1 million this time last year. Represents an approximately $17,000 increase or 1.7%. Total Enterprise Fund expenditures for this period were $836,000 compared to $1.127 million this time last year. Represents approximately 26% decrease or $291,000. The largest driver for that increase was capital outlay expenditures. We did incur significant one-time project costs related to sand trap and roofing repairs that were done last fiscal year. Were there any questions?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah.
Let me ask you. Did we build a pool in Hopkins?
Given current funding levels, it's unlikely that we'd be able to absorb the cost of a project of that magnitude. However, we are exploring grant funding and other funding options to address the situation in Hopkins.
What would it cost to build a pool?
To build a new aquatics facility, it would be roughly $5 million.
So we don't put more than $5 million in it, just fixing it up back and forth, right? To build a new.
I mean, for comparison's sake, you know, our total budget for the fiscal year was 17 million. So a $5 million project would be just south of 1/3 of our total annual budget. To absorb that sort of cost in a given fiscal year, it's a difficult thing to absorb. But like I said, we are exploring options like grant funding and funding through other government agencies.
So to keep these people from inspecting the pool, now we're telling them we can't build it, right?
I'm not saying that at this point. We need to explore funding options to see if a new facility is feasible.
Okay, so all this time that we've been patching up the pool, we wasn't looking for funding to make a new pool. We know that sooner or later it's gonna happen.
Okay. Yes, we didn't know how bad that we needed to, how much of the repairs and stuff until really this year, when we were shut down for some of the repairs that will require for us to be able to like close the pool, redo the pool, and open up a brand new one. Again, I will go further to that into my report because I do have Hopkins on my report. So Commissioner Mobley, you want to wait till I can address all of that when we talk about Hopkins.
I did want to give a budget update. On the evening of June 6th, the Richland County Council approved funding for millage agencies. RCRC, as well as most millage agencies, were approved at the no mill increase rate. The county has allocated $16.455 million to Richland County Recreation Commission's general fund for general operating purposes. For many of the millage agencies, including RCRC, this allocation was more than the fiscal year 23 allocation, but less than the requested funding for fiscal year 24. As such, we will adjust our proposed budget for our July meeting. We will present that to you in July. Are there any questions?
What was the requested budget?
Sure. We requested funding from County Council at $17.392 million. The difference between that figure and what was approved was roughly $936,000.
Are there any other questions? Thank you,
Thank you.
Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.
Now go to new business.
So for new business, we have, the first one we have is a request for waiver of facility fees for Starlight Neighborhood Association. They requested to use Bluff Road Park to hold their monthly meetings. According to policy 8015, public use of facilities, a neighborhood association facility fees may be waived or reduced for the use of certain facilities during normal operating hours. We have already spoken to Mr. Epps, who had put in this information for the neighborhood association, and the association will not be charged for the facility fee. However, this request is for the deposit. The deposit, according to our approved fee schedule and our fee setting schedule policy 8010, the fees will be implemented by the agency, which included a deposit on all facility rentals. So the recommendation for the waiver of facility fees for deposit, the request is to deny deposit waiver and for the association to pay the deposit to cover the dates that are requested on the application.
Also stated that they will receive this deposit back.
Yes, all deposits when someone uses a facility, and that's why the deposit was put in place, because if something happens during a rental that's at our facility, if we have punitive damages that need to be repaired, that deposit is there for that, and they will get the remainder. If nothing happens, they get the entire deposit back.
Accept or deny waiver of facility fees or deposit fees for the Starlight Neighborhood Association.
This applies to all neighborhoods.
For neighborhood associations, yes, that are in Richland County.
Starlight and another waiver request for Girl Scouts.
Madam Chairman, could I address that?
Are you on, I don't know who you are.
Reverend Epps, Charles.
Okay, Reverend Epps, you did not sign in, you know our
Okay.
policy. Right, thank you for coming. Okay, according to the board, we'd like to defer these issues for the waivers to the next meeting after we have further discussion on them. That would include Starlight Neighborhood, Eastway Park Neighborhood, and the Girl Scouts.
That way you could come back and speak.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry, but
Oh, you're fine.
Make a motion. I need a motion to defer the decisions on these waivers until next meeting for further study.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we defer the waivers for these facilities to our next meeting.
I second that.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsey,
Yes,
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley,
yes,
Commissioner Singleton.
Yes.
Motion passed.
thank you. We'll now go to other business. We have the report, second interim executive director report from Philip Williams.
I'll wait to put the presentation. So I would just like to give an update of some of the projects. We have our Polo Road Soccer Complex. We have repaired and replaced damaged sod in front of the goal mouth area and also added some topsoil to the mound where for seasonal play. So here are some pictures of that work. At North Springs Park, we have completed the roof repairs on 2 of the picnic shelters that were out there at this site. See one here, and then we also have another one that's there, provided the shelter. And those are complete. In reference to Hopkins Park Pool, so Hopkins Park Pool is closed to the public. The pool was designed in the 1970s, and it has reached its life expectancy of the 30 to 40 year time span. We have been doing patchwork for some time now, over the years, and it basically has reached its position beyond repair work. In 2021, we did do a aquatics feasibility study, and this is one of the locations that was recommended to be in poor condition. And as a result of this, it was to basically rebuild, tear down and rebuild a new pool at this site. We did have a meeting on Thursday, May the 25th at the pool. I spoke to a few of the community leaders and about the pool. There are some safety issues at the pool, which are seen on, we'll have further pictures here. The pool deck, we have pictures in the pump room, the pool building, and we have patched up as much as we can over the years. Closing the pool definitely was a loss for this entire Richland County community. And, you know, opportunities to have open swim, to have swim lessons. But the positive we see coming out of this will be to rebuild a new pool in the future and to have other amenities that are in the industry now that can be able to be at this particular site that the citizens will enjoy. Our agency has already started looking for funding sources that we actually can go after. And in the meantime, that we know that in the Lower Richland community, the closest pool that we have that RCRC on is in at Eastover Park. So here for some of the pictures, Leslie, if you can back a few. Okay. So here we have, back in 2021, we had to get some major work done to the pool, replastering, fixing cracks. And we were talking about just about 2 years ago. And so this is where we had to drain all the water out, go in and be able to do some patching work to that particular site. As you see, the first couple of pictures, we're trying to do cracks. Going down into the pool, we're trying to seal cracks in there as well. And then here we have other areas that are in the pool that were patched up. Also, we have like the stairs going down into the pool. Those were damaged. The pool has shifted because of all of the cracks over the years that have been forming in this pool. And so just recently, and this is what our pump room looks like. It is a lot of old piping, and our pool mechanics is just, just have gone just very, very old. And so over the years, is dwindling down. We want to be able to definitely have something better for the citizens. Recently, we were just out at the pool a couple of weeks ago, and this is what we saw. We actually had the pool, because once you get it at a certain point, the water and the skimmer's real low. It doesn't filter through properly. This is one of those days where the pool was actually at the top. And so once it's at the top, all of the cracks in the site on the deck, they start filling in, the water starts seeping out. So this is a location when you go on the left and the right, as soon as you come in the entrance of the pool. And then our last one, I have just a small video here if everybody can see. And that's probably a good, maybe a good 5 feet just from the pool opening, where the water is like from the stairs going down. I do have, if you have any other questions, I do have Dave here. He's one of our representatives who have worked with this pool with our contractors, Palmetto Pools. And if there's any questions, or if Dave, if you want to just let them know your experience with what we've experienced over the years. So this is not a overnight thing that it just happened. I just happened to be in this role when when, it was trying to make the hard decision to say, that it's time to, close this pool, look for, ways to be able to find funding and have a better pool. This has been going on a long time. And so we've again, the pool has reached its life expectancy. Yes.
Yeah, I'm Dave Elledge. My son and I own Palmetto Pool Management here in town. We've been in the pool maintenance business for 20 years now, and we've been doing RC pools. Now this is our 10th year. This is our 10th summer maintaining Eastover, Trentham, Hopkins, and St. Andrews Park. We've been working over the years to try to, for lack of better words, Band-Aid up Hopkins and keep it going for the residents to use, but it's continually deteriorating, and like Ms. Jenkins said, I think we're to the point now where it needs to be redone, re-closed, and a new pool put in the works. But if there's any questions, I'd love to answer any questions that you may have concerning.
I don't know that you can answer this question, but I am concerned. Why, if we knew in 2021 that the pool was in this condition, or it's been in this condition the last 10 years or so, we have not been looking for funding or figuring out how we would go about transitioning from the pool in its current state to a better facility. I keep hearing, this is not an overnight situation. It's been over the years. I heard we had an aquatic study in 2021, but the resident said that it wasn't inspected in 2021 by DHEC, and we're paying $53,000 every year to make sure that this doesn't happen. So I'm just trying to figure out, where did the ball drop for us to be in a state where we don't have the children anything to do or anywhere to swim over the summer?
If I may address the pool inspection part. Mm-hmm. Pool inspection was not inspected by DHEC because the pool opens at 1:00 in the afternoon, and DHEC came to inspect that pool after we informed them what the hours were. They came and inspected that pool in the AM. Okay, so the pool was closed when they came to inspect. They don't inspect a pool unless it's open to the public.
I understand that, but that's unacceptable if we're paying that amount of money to make sure that it gets done every year, to make sure that people are in place to be there to get it inspected. If the pool is already in this state, somebody should have been there, or it should have been some type of coordination. So
the pool was swim safe during those hours that the pool during the summer of 22, 21. It was open to the public in the afternoons. So, and residents were coming, but DHEC chose to come to perform their inspections at other hours.
And sometimes the DHEC inspections are not coordinated. Sometimes they just show up when they know that we're getting ready to open for the season. Even throughout the season, they may do a spot check.
Their inspections are done without inform. They don't coordinate with us. It's an element of surprise for them to come when that's where they perform their inspections during the summer.
Right.
And I would just like to address your question in reference to 2021 to now. I was not in this role. Again, this is in my purview. And so when those studies, yes, were done, I cannot give you the answer of, why anything wasn't done then, but I know what can be done for now. Though we do have a guideline for the aquatics feasibility study. Back then it was done. We do know what work that needs to be done on which pools. And the amount that it was expected to cost back then. So to Mr. Motley, with your question about how much would it cost in 2021, you're looking at a little over $5 million to do the design that was in the aquatics feasibility study. Now, if it was something different that we go look at, something bigger, something better, more amenities, the costs will change. But it was roughly around that amount.
Do we know what it would cost to fix everything DHEC said to get in compliance? How much would it cost to make those repairs, to open the pool?
We would again have to tear up the whole thing and rebuild. It would be a lot.
Well, why is the water still in the pool?
We actually had met out there to have some discussion about when to drain. We don't want people to be going out there while it's no facility. That's right. So we're moving forward with getting that done.
I guess my question is, have we asked a company to come out? Have we gotten a second opinion from a pool company to say, what would it take to fix this? Because I'm just curious. You're saying it's $5 million to build a new aquatics facility. How much is it to repair what we have? I understand you're saying we can't repair. How much is it to repair it? I think that's just something going forward. And I think that the residents, to give them, an answer and to, let them know we're diligently working on a solution. I think that we should be transparent, to say, this is what it would take to fix. This is what it would take to rebuild. This is what our plan is going to be going forward. But I do think we need a second opinion on the pool. I believe you when you say it needs to be rebuilt, but I would like to know how much it is to repair it.
Madam Chair, since we have you at the mic, sir, you said you've been servicing the pool for the last 10 years. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your first name.
Dave Elledge. Yeah, this is our 10th year. We started in 2014. Yes.
That's what I thought, it's your 10th year. Based on what you know, having serviced the pool for the last 10 years, do you have a recommendation based on what you know of the current condition of the pool? We have a commissioner who's asking about repairing it. And I heard you say in your earlier conversation that you've patched on it as long as you can. Can you speak to that?
Well, yeah, we made repairs over the years, over and over again. It's those repairs, I think, we're past that point now. To realistically put the pool back into swim condition, it would be start over. It would be take it away, take it out, and start over with another pool. So you're going to do another pool just like the one that you have, like we're talking about now, to do more of a current today facility where you have the amenities and such there.
I completely understand what you're saying. However, I'm being told that we do not have $5 million to build a new aquatics facility. So my question is, how much would it take to repair?
I don't have that. We can put that figure together.
I think that would be excellent. So just so we know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can repair it.
So if you try to repair it, we're still looking at millions of dollars, correct? To even try to, if it was even remotely possible to repair what you're saying, you've already ran the cost. You've already did it for 10 years. So you know this pool better than anybody.
I do.
So to sit there and say, well, let's go and put more money into something that has ran its lifespan 30, 40 years, would be like just throwing money away, correct?
Essentially, that's what. Yeah, I think that's
and I think the taxpayers deserve a lot better than that.
That's our
For us
opinion.
to throw their money away trying to repair something that you've already deemed unrepairable.
That's our opinion.
I'm sorry. go ahead.
Dave, just for the benefit of the audience, we have a large group of people that are here with the intended purpose of having a pool in the area. Can you speak to what happens to a pool that's been operating for 35 plus years? What happens when you operate a pool for 35 years where we are at this point? Can you kind of explain that so that people understand and it's clear why we are concerned about repair versus replacement?
Well, yes, the pool in the condition it's in now, like we talked about earlier, the pool has shifted. There are substantial leaks. There've been substantial leaks in the pool for years. That water's going somewhere. We don't know. We're not sure where it's going, but we know it's starting in the bottom underneath of all that plaster. So we don't know what's going on underneath where it's been eroding, and without going in and looking with a crystal ball underneath that pool, we don't know what's under there. So that in itself has done substantial damage to the structural integrity of the pool. So it's shifted, it's cracked, it's losing water, it continues to lose water. So that's why we say I think anything else that we're doing now is just patchwork.
Do we have any additional questions?
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment. I believe that the residents aren't upset about necessarily getting a new pool. They just want to know why it's taking this long for us to figure out how to come to a resolution. I believe that they want answers. They want assurances to know that somebody's going to get some funding to get a new pool, a timetable, and more credible information so that we can move forward. We can talk in circles. We can continue to say what can or can't be done and look at repairing, but the residents want to know what's going to happen.
I think the interim director has already spoken on that they were going to explore some avenues of funding. Am I correct?
Yes.
We have our answer. So,
In over 10 years.
We just voted by a Jewish center with an indoor pool for $8 million. Now, why we can't build a new pool in Hopkins, but we can go buy $8 million Jewish center? I voted no. They voted yes on it. So they wanted to buy $8 million pool, still with a pool in it, at the Jewish Center. I told them no. I was the only one that said no. They all voted on it. Then we came back in. They had another Zoom call to vote on it to get the $8 million pool. But now we hear that y'all coming in here from Hopkins. We ain't got no money to start with Hopkins.
Excuse me, I'm gonna have to cut this conversation off. The pool is not on the agenda for the first thing. We just had a report and trying to accommodate the people that are here to let them know that the pool cannot be repaired. We're gonna have to get funds for a new pool. And it's not that we're overlooking the community.
Commissioner Chair, Commissioner Lizzie, can I stop you for just a second? We do have a Toyota license plate QPN 104. You're blocking someone that has an emergency and they need to get out. There's a Toyota tags are QPN 104.
So I'm suggesting that we consider putting this on. We're gonna put this on our next agenda and discuss it. Got order.
Point of order. Point of order. Pool is on the agenda. Pool is on the executive director's agenda.
You're out of order, sir. We can discuss this later, not in public. We'll discuss your matter in executive session, but executive session is not on the agenda for tonight. So we will discuss it later at the next meeting.
I think she had one more item on her executive director's report. Yeah, one more item.
That's
One just clarification. The Jewish Center funding was only if the state came up with the money for it, which they, I don't believe, did. But the state funding would be an excellent source of where to get money to fund this. So just as with the Jewish Center, if the state through the earmark process could fund this, and of course, Jermaine Johnson was here, very active, and certainly Senator Darrell Jackson, at least
both here.
asking them would be a place to see if they can help. If the legislature could help would be just as with the Jewish Center.
Exactly. That was my intent. The Jewish Center is a completely different project. And the Jewish Center was going to be funded if it was accepted and approved by funds from the General Assembly. And they promised us a certain amount to buy the Jewish Center and maintain it. However, we have not heard anything regarding that. We do not have an MOU at this time with that project. So that has nothing to do with Hopkins Park. We need funds for Hopkins Park. And if the General Assembly is willing and able to help us in any way possible, as soon as possible, that's the best way to go. I'm sure they have some money allocated for the Recreation Commission, and we'll be glad to accept it at any time and start our project on approval for Hopkins community.
You have one more item on your report?
Yes. My last item is a CAPRA. We are still waiting to hear from CAPRA about our visit. And that concludes my report.
Just a question. Accreditation with the program that you have.
Excuse me?
How do you expect to get accreditation for programs you have? Don't you get accreditation through programs?
You get accreditation across what the agency does as a whole.
2010, 2015, we had accreditation.
2011 and 2016.
How did we?
We didn't lose anything. We haven't had our visit.
We have not lost our accreditation. We are up for reaccreditation, and we have submitted a strategic plan that was shared with us at our last board meeting that was presented. So we have not. Let's make sure.
Plan shared with me?
Excuse me, you're out of order. This is an executive session discussion, and we'll discuss this in executive session, not in open session. Any questions that you have?
Could you please tell her what?
Commissioner Motley, any questions that you have? We'd be happy to address them in executive session regarding accreditation, Jewish Center pool, whatever questions you have, but not at this time. Lastly, we'll have a report from Felicia Venable, the Community Relations Manager.
The car had moved, and the young lady is still trying to get out. If you own that car, please come move so you can leave. Your daughter is home, but you need to get home. Could you please read the license plate tag again? It's a blue Toyota. The license plate is QPN 104. It's blocking her in. She can't move until that car is moved. Oh, yeah.
Someone driving a blue Toyota Sequoia? Is that her car? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. We're continuing to enrich our lives and connecting communities. Since our last board meeting, we had a few events that took place. It's not all, but just some. We had a community awareness event at Bluff Road Park on May the 16th. We had 12 participants. They enjoyed the program, and they had an evening of cooking during the program at Bluff Road Park. We had National Seniors in Health
Fitness Day that was held on May the 31st at Meadow Lake Park. We had over 75 seniors throughout Richland County to enjoy several health vendors and a day of fitness. We'd like to say special thanks to Shante Cleveland for hosting this event. We had a lupus awareness walk on June the 3rd that was held at St. Andrews Park. We had 33 participants, and everyone that filled out a survey said they enjoyed the walk and enjoyed the day at St. Andrews Park. We held the Big Man Basketball Clinic on June the 10th at Bluff Road Park with over 20 attendees. We'd like to say thank you to Ira. We had Juneteenth celebration, Freedom Day, that was held on Saturday, June the 17th at Eastover Park. And we had about 16 participants on hand. We also had the Juneteenth Kickball Jamboree on June the 17th, this past Saturday at Perrin Thomas Community Center. We had 4 teams to participate, and that was 55 participants. And we'd like to say congratulations to Foot Action. We have summer fun here at Richland County Recreation Commission. The pool's open on June the 6th, and we'll finish up in September. And the locations for our pools is Eastover, St. Andrews, and Trentham. Since the pools have been open, they have been at or near capacity this far during the season. We also started summer camps on June the 12th, and they will end on August the 4th. We had those park locations at Kaufman, Friars Gate, North Springs, Polo Road, Blythewood, Hopkins, Killian, Meadow Lake, St. Andrews, and Bluff Road Park. Kids are already enjoying arts and crafts, field trips, and movies. In addition to that, we had our special needs camp, Adaptive Rec, that opened on June the 12th and will also run until August the 4th. And they're located at Trentham Park this year, and that's Camp Sunshine. They have 35 campers enjoying gym exercise, swimming, arts and crafts, movies, lunch and snacks, story time, and visiting our playground. Our upcoming events here at Richland County Recreation Commission. On tomorrow, we will host chair volleyball, and that's senior chair volleyball. And we'd like to invite everyone to come out. Our seniors are very competitive. Holding the championship right now, Demetria is here, is the Goddess Ferry Road seniors. She's represented, very proud of her seniors. So the seniors here at Park Lane Adult Activity Center have been practicing. So they'll be ready on tomorrow for chair volleyball. I've witnessed it, and I'd like for everyone, if you're interested, come on out and witness it as well.
Where's it?
That's going to be at Crane Creek Gym.
Crane Creek.
Is that at 10 o'clock, Demetria? So you can come out and cheer the seniors on. They would absolutely love it. Also here at the Park Lane Adult Activity Center on the 21st, we'll have the Women's Summer Social. And on the 24th, we'll have Summer Teen Blast at Bluff Road Park. And in July the 6th at the Goddess Ferry Adult Activity Center, we'll have the Anniversary and Patron Appreciation Day. And then back here at the Park Lane Adult Activity Center, we'll have an ice cream social for the seniors. This concludes my report, and I'd like to say happy Juneteenth Day and happy Independence Day.
Thank you very much.
Madam Chair, may I speak? I am sorry that we had to have this meeting on Juneteenth Day, the day that we're supposed to be celebrating our culture. And I'm just gonna apologize for us having it on this day. If she would have came to us and asked us to have it next Monday, I'd have been happy with that. But on a holiday like this, we shouldn't be having no meeting. We should be out there celebrating like Martin Luther King wanted us to do. This is a holiday. We should have been celebrating. Thank you.
Next item is executive session, which we will not have an executive session tonight. So I need a motion to adjourn.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we adjourn tonight's meeting.
I second that.
Commissioner Anderson.
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsey.
Yes.
Commissioner Miller.
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley,
Yes.
Commissioner Singleton.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you all for coming.